Hi guys, it's Nancy, and I have the February 2023 Spellbinders 3D folder of the month. So this is really cool. There's a lot of fun florals in here, some greenery, and it just looks very psychedelic to me. So let's have fun making a card with this, all right? So I'm going to open this up, and you'll notice the side with the label is kind of indented, and then the other side is protruding, right? So we want the indented side, and I am going to lightly spritz this with some water. Now this is going to be a little bit of a messy project, so I'm just going to put a little bit of paper towel down here, and I'm going to bring in some color bursts. And color bursts are just bright pigments of color, and this is just a light spritz. You don't want to oversaturate this. You don't want too much water. And wherever there is a floral, I'm just going to take this color burst and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it in where that floral is. Again, not too much here. This is going to give us a really fun, painterly watercolor look. And the purpose of spraying it ahead of time is that it will just kind of keep the powders in place, hopefully. Now here is olive green, so I don't want a whole bunch of this. And you'll notice that I am not squeezing, I am just tapping wherever I think that greenery should be. And I have a whole mixture of different colors here. A little bit goes a long way. Just because you don't see it does not mean it's not there. Sap green, that's a green we want. A lot of leaves on this. And the reason they're called color burst is because as soon as the water hits it, you will see the color burst or bloom. These are high quality watercolor pigments. They're dry pigments until the water hits them, and then the color just explodes out of them. Here's some purple. We don't want too much purple. Oops. Oops. That's a lot of purple. I'm looking for, where's my chartreuse? Here it is. Some peony. And I'm almost got all my flowers covered here, I think. And I am really going for a rainbow mirage of colors here. I'm going to mix some colors with some different flowers. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Grab some gamboge, which is a nice golden yellow. Okay, I think we got most of it. And I'm just going to go with my chartreuse and just touch up any leaves that I might have missed. Now, of course, you don't have to do the whole panel like I am. I have a piece of watercolor, just cheapy, I think it's Canson watercolor. Just cheapy watercolor paper, student grade. Nothing super fancy. right, so now you guys have watched me tap all this down. I think it's time to get spraying here. Okay, so now is the fun part. We are going to make sure we have our platinum ready to go, because this is a 3D folder, so you need the universal plate system to make sure that this works, because it's a 3D folder. I'm going to go a little bit more green, just a little bit. I probably already have way too much green, but okay. You'll see how this bursts with color. Now, I don't want to add a whole bunch of color. I know it looks like a hot mess right now. And I'm just going to lightly spritz, and I have my watercolor paper here. And it doesn't matter if you do the smooth side or the bumpy side. But you'll see as I spritz this, how those colors are going to burst. And again, I don't want to oversaturate this. I just want to make sure there is a nice coating of water there. So when I put this through the machine, it's going to spread that color into the embossing folder onto the watercolor paper. So we've got that set up. There, you can see that. Now, if you're not the type that likes to be messy, I did another way on a video I just did not too long ago with the color bursts, where you can just color with the color bursts like a actual watercolor. You just put the color with some water, and then it will, you can use it like a watercolor paint. Now, you do want to be careful as you wind this through. And depending on how saturated your paper is, you might have some that seeps out. It's okay. This is very easy to clean up with a little bit of paper towel, soap and water. And let's take a look. All right, that actually looks pretty good. Now, if there's any spot that you think is too wet, you can take your paper towel and dab it up like I have over here. If there's any place that's too dry, you can take a paintbrush and just kind of move it around. But this is really pretty. You can see how those flowers have color. I can spray and activate that a little more and move some of that color around. That came out pretty good. Okay, so that is one way of using the embossing folder. And then you just wipe this down with a little bit of spray and water. It'll clean up very easily. So we're going to clean that up a little later. You don't need to worry about it. And then I want to let this dry. So I'm just going to take my heat tool to it, and I'm going to dry it, and then I will be right back. Okay, guys, so that's pretty much dry. But I'm not done yet. I want to add a little shine to this. So I'm going to bring in some Lunar Paste in Psych. And if you have not tried Lunar Paste, this stuff just goes wonderful with everything. And I'm just going to add a little dab to my finger. And anywhere there's kind of green, I'm just going to rub this right over that greenery. And you only need the tiniest bit. And what it's going to do is not only is it going to fill in the color, but it's going to add this beautiful shine in those areas. And this stuff dries very, very fast. So yeah, we're getting a little messy here. And your finger is really the best way to apply this, because you can apply it lightly and feel where it's going. I think if you use a brush or any kind of tool like that, you might get a little heavy-handed. And all we're doing is just lightly kissing the top of that embossing folder where those leaves are, embossed design, where those leaves are. So you don't need a lot, just a light little touch. And you can already see how that's kind of coming to life. And this is a really pretty, almost like a lime green with like a golden undertone. That's a really pretty color. And all of the different colors of lunar paste. I think almost every color is now in the Spellbinders shop. So another new thing you can go looking for. Okay, and I have a little press and seal on here just to keep that from drying out. All right, and you want to put that on and then kind of press that in so that it touches the paste so that the air bubble doesn't form in there. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff. All right, and I'm just going to clean my fingers up and let this dry. It only takes like maybe 10-15 minutes to dry. And I will be back and we will continue on with our little mixed media project here. Beautiful. Let me show it to you guys real quick while it's drying. All right, I will be right back. Okay, guys, we are back with our dried panel. Again, with those luscious colors and that shimmer. And none of this needs to be set. Once it's dry, it's set. It's not going to come off. Okay, and I'm going to cut this down. I think I have enough to make 2 panels here. So I'm going to cut the edge off here and cut this down to 4 inches. Okay, and then same thing with this one. Now, certainly you can eyeball this and cut out only the parts that you like. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to be able to get 2 panels out of this. And 5 1/4 inches wide. So a little bit smaller than an A2 panel. So there's the first one. I love how those oranges really pop with the green. Okay, and there's my second one. Now I am ready to go here. I have an A2 card base. I have a piece of gray cardstock that I think would look good in the background here, just as a matte layer. And let me grab my tape adhesive. This is a really strong adhesive. Use liquid glue, but you want this as an extremely strong tape adhesive. So I'm going to put that down. And then I brought in some foiled elements. So I have a glimmered happy birthday from the Essential Glimmer Sentiments. So that's the happy birthday right there. Have that ready to go. And my favorite car from last month's release, the little car from January's Glimmer of the Month. So he is ready to go, and he is in a nice green, and I think these will look great on these panels. Again, we have this kind of psychedelic background, and I thought, well, it looks like a beetle, so it would be fun to have this kind of beetle chugging along here. I might cut my sentiment down a little bit more or put my sentiment on the inside, but I think he goes really well. Now it's just a matter of which panel do I want to use. I like this one because he fits perfectly right there. So let's go with this one. Lots of adhesive on there. We'll have our little car. Meep, meep. I need a sentiment that says groovy. That is so cute. I think I'm going to put this happy birthday on the inside. So we have that shimmer. We have the foiling. It's all in there together. And there you have the February 2023 3D embossing folder of the month. What a great program. Again, you'll get a limited edition 3D embossing folder. Any of these club kits are limited edition. So if they sell out, they will not restock it. So you want to check. I will have some information down in the description for you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this background goes well with our little psychedelic car? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. And keep on stamping. Bye.